Hey yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Baney, and I'm coming to you live from the Manny J Media headquarters here in Worcester, Massachusetts. And I'm here with my friend, the one and only Miss Monica Adwani. How are you? Did I pronounce your last name right?
Yes,
All right, good. Because I was wondering, I'm like, I'm
a
not
lot of
sure.
people butcher that.
Yeah,
You did.
it's I like it. I like the way it rolls off the tongue, Monica Adwani. It's
Yes.
beautiful. I love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
But
Thank you.
welcome to the studio. It's so good to
Thank you for
finally
having
have
me
you.
here. Yes, a lot
Absolutely.
of my friends have gone through here,
You
so
have had
now
a,
I'm on the scene.
we have had a lot of your friends here, and it's so great to finally have you here with me today. And we've been wanting to do this for a while. I remember first meeting you. This is my memory is trash, so your recollection may be a little bit different. But I personally first remember meeting you, and I don't know if it was actually at Nuestra, which was in the Bull Mansion.
Yes.
Um, Shout out to Natalie Rodriguez and that amazing
Yeah.
restaurant during Robin Kennedy's campaign, or it may have been somewhere around that zeitgeist of that time, which was I think 2021,
Yeah,
2022 ish,
2022-ish.
around there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would say so. I mean, during that time, there was a lot of things happening.
yeah,
I was having a lot of events around town, and Robin was running. So since I run a huge group of women, I will invite her
yeah.
to like speak
And
at
she
some
always
of the
shows up,
events.
doesn't
She
she?
always shows
She's
up.
so amazing.
She
She's
always
such a
shows up.
sweetheart.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I funny to find today years old just finding out that you actually didn't work on the Robin Kennedy
no,
campaign. I always
I
assumed
did
you
not.
did, but that's just how serious you are when you're in that role of what you're doing. In your case,
Yeah,
just
community engagement.
community events and
Yeah.
engagement. Um, you look the part, and
Oh, I look like I work in
yeah,
government, but I don't.
but you're all set with that life, huh? Yeah,
No, not for me. Not for me. I'm part of like a committee in the city, which the city manager was kind enough to reach out to me to make the invitation, and I went through the process, and now I'm part of the
yeah,
CPC and the Community Preservation Committee, which is great because you focus a lot on Worcester overall as a city, which is great.
yes,
But that's kind of like where I draw my line.
right,
I don't do a lot of politics. I have enough work on my own to kind of, but I love being involved.
yeah.
I
So we
love being
party with
involved.
the players while we stay out the
Exactly.
game. Yeah,
Exactly.
because
No,
wow,
and
they're good
I
people.
love helping.
Yeah,
I love helping, but from my side of the fence,
right.
right? Because
Stay in
my
your lane.
time is very limited,
Yeah,
and even though I will root for anyone that is doing good.
mhm,
That's my thing. No colors, no no sides. It's more
right.
like do what's right, and then you have my
I
support.
agree with that 100%. As a matter
Yeah,
of fact, I was talking to someone yesterday about politics because,
yeah.
my favorite subject, everyone's favorite subject, politics.
Uh,
Um, and it kind of dawned on me that in America, we have this facade, in my opinion, of a two-party system. In reality,
mhm.
it's there's there's not. It's all they all play the same game, and it's just a whole bunch. I don't want to go too deep into it,
No,
but
I think everyone has different agendas, right?
yeah,
Which is the reality of things. Everybody is trying to do the right thing, what is right in their eyes,
in their perspective,
right? In
right?
their eyes and their perspective, we have to respect it and just see where do we want to support, where do we not, and what we agreed on and
Yeah,
what we agreed not.
right. And that's why I think
And
of
that's
it's more of
okay.
an individual game than a two-party
Yeah,
system.
and that's
And I
okay.
think Trump. We're gonna back off of this in just a second, but I think that Trump
You just
really.
hit me right
I'm
there.
so sorry, but he really exploited that. Where he doesn't necessarily represent the Republican Party. He represents Trump.
He knows how
So it's
to
an individual game.
play with people.
He
Definitely,
sure does.
100%.
Anyway, let's get off of that because
Yes.
it's not why you're here, and I
Yes.
don't want to go
Yes.
down that political rabbit hole
Thank
with
you.
everybody. You're very welcome. But one of the things that most attracted me to you when I first met you was we do have something in common, and that is that you are also a voice on the airwaves.
Yes. I
You
am.
don't sound too happy about that. How's
I
that
am.
going?
I am.
How's your
No,
show
it
going?
is all good. It is all
Yeah,
good.
and I learned that when I was in E for all.
Yes. Yes.
And were you a mentor at that time?
I
You were a mentor,
I'm
and
still till today support Pioneer, Worcester, and Merrimack Valley.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we connected, and
Yeah.
I haven't been on your show yet, but
Not yet.
someday you'll have
Not
me there.
yet. I took a little break
Yeah.
actually. I took a little break because during this year I've had a lot of transitions internally at work at my company. So we decided
Which we're
to
gonna
take a
get to in
little
just a
break.
second. I'm so
Yes,
excited
we
about that.
will.
Congratulations, by
Thank
the
you.
way.
Thank you. So I took a little break because time again was limited and I needed to focus operationally on my company.
Yeah.
But we're resuming. We're
Yeah.
resuming the show soon, where our schedule kind of, it's done with all the traveling and everything that we are doing.
I
But yeah,
I
it
love
is a
that you
good
bring
show.
that point up. You know that you had to take a break in order to focus on.
Yes.
You say your company, your business, but in reality, it is you, right? Like you have to be able to make sure that everything you got
Yeah.
going on sustains, more than sustains. It's good. Like you can let it sit there for a second, walk away from it, empty your cup out here and here and here in the community, but
Yes.
then you got to come back and make sure that that
Yeah, I
personal
mean
cup is
it
sustained.
is not easy. I mean, if I was solely responsible for me, it would be a different story,
Yeah,
right? But I have 168 families that I'm responsible for.
right. Let's get a
So
little bit more into that. So
yes,
BRZ, that is the
BRC.
company we are currently discussing. That
Yes.
is your company. Congratulations, Ms. CEO
Thank
of
you.
not only a Latin owned and run organization,
Yeah.
company, business. Thank you. Um, what was my point? Wow, I just completely lost my
Well,
thought.
we're
But
talking about
yeah,
so
yeah, it is Hispanic Heritage Month, by the
yes.
way. Yes, thank you for bringing that
Yeah.
up. But you're one of the top businesses for now, right?
Yeah. So basically, we went through a process of, we had to submit our financials, and they just opened this new side because usually they take care of mortgage lenders or realtors, right? But now they open the financial side,
Yeah, which
and
is important.
insurance is on the financial side, and they have other companies. So countrywide, they sent a survey to see, what were the companies out there, and I am extremely grateful for all of our friends here in Massachusetts who I had no idea about this, and they were like, "Hey, you should submit. You've experienced tremendous growth." And we think that you will be a great fit for this, so please submit the application.
Yeah,
And I did, and they asked for all, it was not just like sending name, company name, or whatever.
right.
You had to submit your financials, you had to submit everything. And it was very surprising that within the category of finance and insurance, that we were selected countrywide as the top number one broker for Latinos in America.
That's
So
so
that was
amazing.
that was really I will say impactful,
Yeah,
even for us, because we've been so on the weeds and working so hard. And I really never care about like being rewarded or anything. I just care about providing for my family and
right.
providing for the families that work with me. That it was kind of an aha moment. And I wasn't going to go to San Diego, and then I had to jump on the plane and go to San Diego and do what I needed to do there. But it was great. It
Yeah,
was a great feeling to see that all your hard work is actually being recognized, or just,
yeah.
a little bit
Well, not
of,
just being recognized, like your
yeah,
whole business now has a whole new level of credibility because you
right,
had a third party,
right,
independent people looking into your business to
right,
let you know how good or maybe even how not good you were doing. In
right,
your case, thank God you were doing
right,
great.
right,
And it just goes to show, when you stay focused and you're doing your work and
correct.
just focusing on your job, you don't need to impress the world. The world will see
Right,
it on
right.
their own.
But sometimes, the journey is so lonely. Like being on these seats
Oh,
is
yeah,
very lonely.
yeah.
So sometimes you need that pat in the back. Where like, oh, you're doing a
Reassurance.
good job,
Nothing wrong
right?
with reassurance. Yeah,
So we at this seat, we don't get a lot of reassurance. We just have to go with our gut,
yeah,
trust that our plan is gonna work, and then if you fail, do it again, and if you win, you win, and then
right.
move forward. So those little wins mean the world to us,
Yeah,
because it's important um, to recognize that you can move forward and you're doing the right.
absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit more about BRZ. Let's break it down.
Yes.
What is BRZ?
So BRC actually becoming Breezy Seguros on Monday. We're changing our name, our branding.
As in, like
Uh,
a breeze, right? Like in the
like a
wind.
breeze. Yeah, breezy is
Breezy
easy.
Seguros. I like it.
Breezy is easy, and we wanted to make it more inclusive to both. We're all Hispanic, but the Brazilian and the Hispanic community have a lot of differentiators, and we
Yeah.
do have. My business partners are Brazilian. I am Puerto Rican, and BRC was something that was said in many different ways, very differently. So the branding was inclusive within
Yeah.
the entire Latino
Especially with
community.
language barrier.
Exactly. BRZ
Yeah.
or BRZ or BRC.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Next thing you
very
know, we're
cohesive.
calling it 4 or 5 different names, even though
Exactly.
they all mean the same thing.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that.
so we're going with Breezy Seguros because we are a company that is focused on helping the Latino community, especially Latino entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
protecting their future and the wealth that they're creating on their business. So that's what we are about. Granted, we do all other lines of business. We do
Yeah.
auto, we do home, but we are specialized in business.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I completely understood and took in what you were saying.
Mhm.
Because I've only known you as an insurance company, which to my mind goes to auto insurance because that's
Yeah.
really the only insurance I actually care about. And the reason why is because if I don't have auto insurance, it's illegal for me to drive my car. So I
Exactly.
have to have it. It's not a want, it's actually a need,
It's
right?
required in
Yeah.
Massachusetts. It's
So
not a choice.
that's the first
Yeah.
thing my mind goes to. So Breezy Seguro. Is it gonna be in English too? Breezy
Breezy
Insurance.
Seguros. No?
Only Breezy. I
Seguros.
love that you're doing that. You're
Seguros.
drawing that
Yeah.
line.
We
It's
are
important, which we'll talk
we
about
are
in just a
focused on
moment.
Latinas, so
I,
Seguros it is.
all right. So Breezy Seguros. I can call them and get a quote for my car insurance, possibly get covered for car insurance.
Yeah.
And then the next level up in my head of insurance, which I only know about because my auto insurance always offers it, and I always turn it down. Which we can talk about why I shouldn't in just a second. Renters insurance,
Renters
right?
insurance.
Because I rent a home. Um, it just doesn't make sense in my mind to insure my house when I've been living all these years just fine. Nothing's gotten stolen. Nothing's ever happened. I'm not saying I'm right.
So
I'm not
you're
saying I'm
not
right.
right.
I'm just saying
You are
where
not
my
right.
mind goes.
I'll explain to you why
Um,
you're not right.
and so let's go to that, and then the last one, which is ensuring entrepreneurs like myself. I have no clue. I'm today years old, just finding this was even a thing. So let's start with auto insurance.
Okay.
Hit me with it. What is
Well,
BRZ? How do you differentiate for auto?
Well, the thing is, all insurance in Massachusetts is regulated, so
Yeah.
nobody has better prices than anybody.
Okay.
What happens is depending on the education and the risk that you're willing to take, right? So basically, we all have different coverages, different things that we can offer you,
Yeah.
and depending on your appetite, on how you want to be covered, that's when the price differentiation comes
Oh,
into
see,
play.
that's very important. I
Okay.
didn't know that because, I watch commercials all the time, and
Yeah.
Geico's like, "Yo, call me. I'll get
Oh
you a better
yeah,
price,"
yeah, that is
right?
great.
But that's not necessarily
No,
completely
that's
accurate.
not
It's
accurate.
how they package it,
Exactly.
which is
Exactly. So
whether or not you're getting a better price.
there's different discounts. Every insurance company, we work with
Hmm.
over 25 insurance companies.
Okay.
So we're a broker. We kind of shop around and see what fits best for the client. So we work for the client. We don't, we have two customers. We have the insurance company and we have you as a customer,
Okay.
right? So what we'll do is not every person fits within a company because they have certain requirements that they either want you or they don't want you, right? And basically, depending on how we package that policy, is the pricing that's going to come in.
Okay.
So if you want, I don't know if I can curse here, but if you want shitty coverage,
Yeah, no, you could. I mean,
if you want shitty coverage, right? Like the minimum state limits, you really don't care. You're willing to take the risk. Then you just buy a policy.
that's
And
me.
yeah, and sure you shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
As a business owner, you have a lot to lose.
Yeah.
So basically, what we do internally here at BRC or RISI is that we try to educate you on what does that mean to you, right? Like for example, you just bought, let's say, a new car, right? Off the lot, you're driving that car already depreciated. You have a loan. The loan is actually valued more than what the value is on your car.
And the longer you have the car, the more valuable the
Yeah.
will become.
So a lot of people choose not to have certain coverages, right? But then 5 days later, you have an accident and you have a total loss. You're still liable for that loan, right? So even though your car will be paid, it won't be enough to pay that loan. So now you decline the coverage that we offer you to cover for that difference, but you said, no, 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 I don't want to pay 10 more bucks a month. I want to save that. Guess where that money is coming from?
Yeah.
Your patient.
Right, and that'll be,
So
it might even be more than $10 a month at that point,
yeah,
which I never knew.
yeah.
And I like that
So
you're breaking it down for us here like this today, because whenever I go and they show me all these extra options, I have no idea what to choose. You
yeah,
know, like especially. Let me ask you then, personal injury, and what was the other one? I don't know. You can choose like 50 or 100,000 or something
yeah,
like that.
bodily injury.
Bodily injury. I can't convince myself or understand why, like just do the
I'll
minimum on
convince
that.
you right now. So
Okay.
basically, you are responsible in an accident.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to be responsible for an accident. And let's say, it's a minivan, and in that minivan is a mom and three kids, right? You hit them from the behind. Now you were going, let's say 45 miles an hour, which is not a lot, but people think nothing will happen at 45
Right.
miles an hour. Now, because she was with her kids in the car, now you hit her from behind. Not only you have the loss of the car, but it's gonna come some bodily injury lawsuit because of that, and because of the trauma that you're causing to those children and to the driver, right?
I never
When
knew.
that happens, right, there's gonna be medical involved, right, and
Yeah.
there's gonna come a lawsuit to you through the insurance company because that person probably wants you to pay them for emotional damages, right? That comes from bodily injury.
Wow.
So if you don't have enough coverage in there, let's say you bought, $50,000 instead of $300,000. If that lawsuit is for 100, you are gonna have to pay 100, and the insurance company will only pay the 50. So they will seize your wages.
I didn't know that's what that meant.
They will
I thought
seize
it was
your
like they'll
wages.
either pay 50 or 100, depends on
Nope.
what the person who got hit is
No,
asking for. And
it
I
means
always
the
pictured in my
limits.
head
It means
the
the
bodily image
limits.
was to the other driver, not to
No,
the passengers.
it
I
will
did
it
not
will
know.
be the limits that they will pay on your policy. Anything extra, it will have to
Comes
come
out of
out of your
you.
pocket. Yeah,
I'm about to go change my. Actually,
yeah, you
after this
better.
show, I might have to come to you and get a whole new policy.
And you
Through
will
a whole
pay
new
more.
broker.
I won't tell you you will pay less. You
Well,
will
I
pay
mean,
more.
right. The more security and
Yes.
coverage you get, obviously you have
Yeah.
to pay for that.
But that's the issue with our community too.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the cheapest, but nobody's willing to get the education that they need in order to avoid, right, having financial troubles, right?
Right.
Insurance is not here to be an expense. Insurance is here to save you from financial issues. If you're a business, you're starting, right? You see insurance as an expense, but what if somebody slips and fall and they sue you? And you don't have enough money in the bank to pay them, and you don't have insurance, you're gonna go broke.
That's such a scary thought.
You're gonna have to close your business.
I am freaking out right now. So we're gonna take a quick little break, and we're gonna go thank our sponsors, so I can pull myself together, and we can talk more about coverage and why you need it. On the other side, rental coverage. I'm sure you're really gonna scare the hell out of me, John. Take it away.
Manny J Media is brought to you by
And welcome back to a very special episode of Interviews with my dear friend, Miss Monica Adwani. Thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
here. Before we get back into you scaring the life out of me and wanting to go and change my whole and all my
You
existing
have a
and
lot of
my
problems.
non-existing insurance policy. I had no idea. Thank you. I'm all of a sudden starting to regret this interview, and not because of you, because I'm just scared
Yeah.
now.
All right. That's okay. That's
But
okay.
before we get back into that, I did want to acknowledge once again it is Hispanic Heritage Month,
It is.
and I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think it's amazing, that we do take time in our lives to stop and just appreciate
Mhm.
how we got where we are today. And a
Yes.
lot of that is due to a large part in our culture and our
Mhm.
heritage. Um, Americans, I think, take for granted how much the Latino or Hispanic role has played into
Mhm.
not only
Building wealth
the
and
land that
culture.
was here and the,
Yeah.
the culture that existed prior to colonization, um, but also that growth into a country.
Yeah.
For example, Puerto Ricans, they fought so many wars
Till
on
today.
behalf of America till today,
Yeah. My
fighting so
father is
many
a
wars.
35-year-old veteran. So he was in the army for 35 years. He did 3 tours in Afghanistan and
Wow.
others. And I think, it does bothers me when they think, like, for example, Puerto Ricans, even though we are part of America and a lot of people still ignorant to that,
Yeah,
it does bother me a lot. But I also, identify as a Hispanic Latino because, that's who we are. Even though we are born with the American citizenship,
yeah,
right? So um, I think there is just a lot of education that we just need to do,
yeah.
and it is on us. We can expect others to do it for us. I think it's us taking the stand and making sure that we are doing as much integration as
Yeah.
possible.
Is it
Um,
also part of our responsibility to make sure that we teach others?
100%,
Yeah. So it's not just on
a
us to
hundred
seek
percent.
it, seek out the education, but to make sure that others are
Oh yeah, we have a
receiving that education as well.
responsibility to learn and to educate.
Yeah.
That's and it's not just educating Americans; it's educating everyone,
Yeah.
right? Because here we're such a mixed pot of so many different cultures, so many different countries that we are ignorant to
Yeah.
a lot of what goes on around
Right.
us or
And what's for our
the
betterment?
culture
Yeah,
exactly
like right
the
now we're
culture.
talking about all those things that I need to get in touch, but
Yeah,
culturally,
yeah.
right? And in the Latino heritage, um, there's a lot of like almost like self survival mode. So every dollar we get, we kind of make
Right,
sure that we pay our immediate expenses and maybe try to save the rest in case of something an
right,
emergency or what happened,
right.
because we do have, even though we have a rich history and we actually do have a very rich, financially rich heritage that was stolen from us,
Yeah,
as far
I mean,
as Hispanics go, and
I
so I think the
think
recovery generationally has been hard.
it has been, and I think unfortunately, there are other cultures that are ahead of us in terms of wealth, just because our financial literacy is non-existent, right?
Yeah.
It's not until probably 2, 3 decades ago that we started paying a little bit more attention into finance, right?
Right.
Teaching a little bit more our children about money, the importance of having a savings account or investments or things like that. But I don't remember my parents ever talking to me about
Never.
that or in college or
Yeah.
in high school, right? So there is a big gap generationally where we were not taught. We're learning from our mistakes, right? And we're learning from other people. So I think, where we fail the most is at educating ourselves and passing on that knowledge into new generations. I
Right.
think now, for the past, I will say 20 years, we've done a much better job, right? Where we are talking about it, we are, putting it out there. There's a lot of education available. But before that, we are decades behind,
Yeah.
probably, like the Americans or the
I
Jewish
wonder
or
how much of
others.
that was by design, by the way, because one of the easiest things, um, or easiest cop outs, I guess, that you
Yeah.
can do to speak on is language barrier.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, with Hispanics, there's a
Yeah.
Spanish language barrier. And if it almost feels like until our generation came about and we're able to then translate to our older generations what it is we mean, what it is we're talking about, why it is these things are
Well,
so
I think
important.
unfortunately the meaning of being rich and money is very different, right?
Yeah.
Like we think or we thought. I'm not generalizing, but the majority of our community thinks that being rich or being wealthy means having shiny things,
Yeah.
or having the big house or the expensive car or using the expensive clothes, the
Right.
designer clothes, and that has nothing to do with being wealthy or creating financial health. So I think we have to break down that vision of this is what it means to actually build wealth, build generational wealth, build financial stability, being healthy financially. Even though that looks very different for all of us, we are spenders. We're
Yeah.
not savers.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think we have the responsibility to teach. And, you know, yes, I do insurance. Yes, I sell the product, but for my clients, for my business owner clients, I'm saving them millions of dollars on an annual basis or in decades that they could have lost if they didn't have the appropriate coverage, and those millions of dollars are now whose? Their
Yeah.
families.
Yeah.
Right? So it is more about how you actually change your mindset into let's protect and build rather than let's be flashy and spend and
Right.
show the world that we have money.
Right.
And it's very, very different way of living.
Right. Well, that's a great transition because speaking of changing mindsets,
Yes.
right before the break, we were talking about different types of insurance coverages, and you scared the hell out of me by talking about auto insurance. And then I wanted to get back into that, so let's jump back into the next product that you offer is
Renters or
insurance or
Yeah.
homeowners insurance. So
Yes.
I had said that why would I need that? It just seems like an extra expense to me.
Yes.
I never really use it. And the other thing is too. All right, I'll save that for after. I don't feel like I'm ever going to use it.
Okay.
You said I'm dead wrong in that. So
Yes.
break down why I should get renters insurance. Why is it so important that I change my mind and do that?
So I'm awful with names, but who was the recently here in Worcester? There was a fire in an apartment building that left a lot of people displaced.
Was that in Washington Heights?
I think it was Washington Heights because Natalie actually was
She was
helping with
serving food and
and
stuff.
things
Yep, that
like
was Washington Heights not too long
right?
ago. Yep.
And I got a call for that, and I refused to help. And the reason why I refused to help, and I'm so sorry, I did refuse to help. I did refuse to help because there is a way that you could have helped yourself, and that was having renters insurance. And I'll explain to you why
Or
you're wrong.
to be
right?
prepared.
To be prepared.
Yeah.
Insurance is not something that you buy with the hope that you will use it.
Right.
Insurance is something that you buy with the hope that you will never have to use it.
Right.
Okay. So basically, renters insurance couldn't have helped a lot of these people, and I'm not blaming the people, right? Because they don't probably didn't even know they
Right.
could have it, but the building per se could have forced them in the contract to have this coverage in order for if something like that happened, they wouldn't be on the street.
Right. And
Because
as you're
that
pointing
coverage-
out, it was a building. Say I was in an
Yeah.
apartment, I didn't set the fire, but my neighbor did. I'm still affected by that. That's what you're
Exactly.
saying.
And you always want to be the first consumer, right? You cannot depend on the building settling the claim in order for you to get a piece of it. Because that could take 8 months, that could take 12 months, that could take 2 years. Who knows?
Right.
Because
And who knows if you get what you're actually entitled to. I don't know if entitled is the right word, but that you should actually be compensated for.
So renters insurance not only covers your possessions, right, your clothes or whatever, it also gives you money to go and live somewhere else. So that first, last, and deposit that none of them had to go and quickly
So you'll be able to pick
place.
yourself back up a lot sooner and not have to wait months and
Exactly.
months and months for settlements to come in, and
Exactly.
God knows where you're getting those funds
with a
to
five
survive in
hundred
the
with a
meantime.
$500
Huh.
deductible. So keep $500 in your bank just in case you need to use that policy, and they would have paid $10,000 for you to live somewhere else. Because rents are expensive right
Right.
now. You cannot live anywhere without giving first, last, and deposit. And let's say the truth, Worcester has an issue with housing. So you're either gonna have to go to a friend's house. There is no the Section 8 list is like 7 or 8 years long. The shelters are full.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? Do you really have the money in the bank to pick up yourself if a tragedy were
No.
to happen?
I can tell you right now,
A lot
tomorrow.
of people don't.
I'm very lucky,
A lot
and I
of
have a
people don't.
great network, so I know I won't be out on the streets. However,
No, but that's your case.
it's
How
not.
about these 700 people, right?
But I
You
still
know?
don't want to put anyone else out of their way. I want to be
Es
independent.
así
I want
como
to be
dicen, el
self-sufficient.
muerto a los 3 días apesta. So you really need to get yourself out of anywhere you go,
Right.
right? So that's the reason for renters insurance. It's not just about replacing your clothes
Yeah.
or just
So what does
your
that kind of
possessions.
policy look like? Because now
Yeah.
all I'm hearing right now is cha-ching, thousands of dollars more than I gotta put in.
The policy
how
is
does that
so
look?
cheap. It doesn't cost more than $25 a month. So it is so cheap.
Now I feel cheap.
The policy
That's what, like
is cheap. Like
$5 to $8
you
a
can pay
week.
$20 to $25. You spend more than that in Starbucks in a weekly basis.
Absolutely. Well, I don't
Right?
go to Starbucks, but I know what you
But
mean. I
Dunkin'
drink coffee. I know exactly what. I don't go to Dunkin' either. But I'm with you. I know
Okay.
exactly. I'm just. We don't.
But the reality is that it's a cheap policy, and you can have coverage for, like, let's say up to $30,000, $40,000 for like $100, $200 a year. So
Really?
yes, hope that you never have to use it, but don't see it as an additional expense because you never know.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Part of the reason why I don't do renters insurance and I can't stand having to pay my auto insurance every month is I feel like I'm paying into a system that I'm never gonna use, and they just keep my money. Like, why can't, if I don't use it, I get at least a percentage of it back, something, some kind of reward to say, hey, you had 0 accidents this year. we want, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
gonna kill you.
I think you should get your money back. No,
No, you
because that's not how
don't.
the business
It's
works.
an
First of
investment.
all,
It's an investment. So, for example, let's say you are a new driver,
Yeah.
right? You just turned 17. You've been added into your parents' car. You are most likely to have an accident within the first 2 years of having your license. That is proven. There is a lot of studies about that. Let's say that
I know I did, so.
your dad or your mom has a nice let's not go too far, but let's say that they have a nice hybrid Kia, which now they're starting at about $45,000.
Yeah.
But you've only paid 2 years of insurance, maybe $1,500, $2,000 for 2 years, and now you have that accident. It's a total loss. They don't only have to pay for your car and whatever comes from it, but also the other party, which means that claim is going to pay anything between $60,000 to $70,000. So, do you really think?
I don't have that.
Then,
So I mean,
then,
1,500
do you
versus
really think that you're
70,000.
being scammed?
I mean, at that point, no. But I have to.
Exactly.
But I'm on the same page with you there. All right, move on. So, all right, then help me with this.
Yeah.
How can I, in my cheap heart, in my cheap soul, just be okay with the fact that I'm spending all this money and getting nothing in return?
Well, you are getting something in return because at any given time within the next 5 to 10 years, you will have something that will happen to you and you will need the money. So, do you prefer to spend that money from your bank account, or do you prefer to spend that money from somebody else's pocket?
Oh,
that is investing your money.
1,000%. I'd rather spend somebody else's money.
Don't see it as an expense, right?
Okay.
In your cheap heart.
So I'm throwing. I love that it's my cheap heart. So I'm throwing a little investment in the pot to be covered on a grand scale.
Exactly.
God forbid anything happens.
Exactly.
Peace of mind. That's what I'm paying for.
Peace of mind. That's all.
That's worth a lot. Because stress is a monk. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like gray hair, male pattern baldness.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have baldness.
I've seen people having to use their kids' college fund because they didn't want to pay like $20 more a year, right?
Stop it.
So it all depends how you really see it, and how much you're willing to take on the risk.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I might be having to make a phone call to BRZ later. I will be honest. My auto insurance is with another company, but I really am interested in seeing what BRZ has to offer.
Of
So I'd
course,
like to.
always
I'm
here
gonna
to help.
reach out and talk to
Hopefully, this talk will help.
one of your amazing Gold Star team members, which I
Yes.
had the opportunity of meeting. One of which actually sat in that chair and we
Yeah,
talked to Miss
Sylvia.
Sylvia. We love her.
Yeah,
Shout out to Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Um, your team members are so amazing, so interpersonal. Um, they're all what I love you guys. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Um, when we're out in the community, they're giving the most information. They have such enthusiasm,
And we speak all three languages:
and
Portuguese, English,
they
and Spanish.
they make sure you know that that
Mhm.
communication is key, and
Yes.
and engagement
Yes.
is so important to the BRZ brand.
Yeah.
There's one more. I want to get into the
We love you, Sylvia.
the entrepreneur, the entrepreneurial insurance we were
Yes,
talking about
yes,
just a
business
moment.
insurance. Yes,
Business
yes,
insurance,
yes,
yeah.
yes. That's
But
most important.
before we get to that, I did just want to shout out your team and let you know that
Ah,
you
thank
guys, whatever you do, whatever your formula is, as far as customer service, is it's shining.
Thank
Can you just talk to me a little bit about what customer value means to you?
everything.
Yeah.
Because I mean, without our customers, we're nothing.
Yeah.
Right? My family eats because of my customers.
Right.
So I need to provide them with top-notch customer service always, and try to solve their problems and try to help them as much as we can.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes, we have things to say that people don't like to hear, but education is everything, right?
Yeah.
And just like I was educating you here today, same we do with all of our clients. We have an amazing customer service team that speaks, our clients' preferred language, and I think that's our biggest differentiator.
How important have you found that
Extremely
is to
important.
make closing a sale? Because
Extremely
I'm
important. You need to
confused.
know what you're buying, right? And a lot, we have three sets of customers, right? We have the Hispanic who is born here, grew up here like us, that
Yeah.
like to be communicated in English, and
Right.
that's okay, right? We have the Hispanic immigrant who is either business owner or just got here that need help, that speaks zero English, and they want to know what they're purchasing, how they're protected, like why do they need it, right? Because all this is new to them. So we have that set of customer, and then we have our Brazilian community that loves being serviced on their native language, regardless if they've been here or they just got here or
Right.
whatever. So language is something that it's breaking a lot of this stigma that is around, at least for me, insurance, just because they are understanding what they're signing, right? They're not being, taken by granted.
Yeah.
They can understand.
And words can do it. Words could be very tricky.
We translate things for them,
Yeah.
So it is really important, and it has made all the difference because they feel that they can trust us, and
Right.
trust is everything, right? I have clients that don't know how to read, and they come with their bags of mail, and we sit down and we read it for them, we explain
Wow.
to them, so it is not just selling a policy. That's not all we're doing. We're creating an ecosystem that helps our community be better, get better, learn, and protect themselves. So it's more than just an insurance policy.
And
We're
I'm
a
not trying to be
family.
funny, but A Affordable ain't never done that for me.
Oh God.
Just
Okay,
saying.
we're going right.
We're going there. I'm just saying,
We're
customer
going
service,
right.
like
Yeah.
no shit, no. I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
Full shit,
and
pay
granted,
affordable. It was
I
what it
mean,
is.
we have our good days and we have our bad days, and that's okay. Not every day I can get to every single customer that calls, and sometimes they're upset, but we are trying to do our best. Right now, we get to 96% of the customers that call on a daily basis, which compared to the insurance industry is only a 70%.
Wow.
So we have a much
Yeah.
higher
20
customer
something
service rates, right?
percent. better customer
Still
service.
not enough. We have to get better.
Well, I don't think anything can ever be at 100%. 96 is pretty good.
Yes,
Pretty
I
damn
am
good.
very proud of it, and I am very proud of my team because they work really, really hard on a daily
Yeah,
basis
and it
to make it
shows.
happen.
It shows because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Just a few months ago, well, that is a lie. It's like a year ago, 2 years ago. I wasn't familiar with BRZ.
Hmm.
Since I've first heard of BRZ, it's only becoming more and more pertinent, more like noticeable, more of a regular something that I hear in my life
Good.
all the time. So yeah,
Marketing team's doing a great job.
marketing's doing their thing. Speaking of marketing, that BRZ car is pretty fire. So
Ah,
if you don't know what I'm talking
yes.
about, then you need to go to BRZ's social media and just scroll down till you see it.
I just drove it here today.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
go take a picture in front of me.
Yeah. So I can't believe John just threw up a sign that I did not want to see already,
Yes,
which
you
means
gotta wrap up.
time
Wow.
is flying, and we never got to the most important
Business
thing that we wanted to
insurance.
talk about, which is
Yeah,
business insurance,
yeah.
which I don't have. Right,
Which
John? We
you
don't.
should have.
Do we? We're working on it.
Yeah, all this equipment over here.
Yeah.
Gotta
So
insure people.
tell me about that business insurance.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I have heard of business insurance.
yes.
I didn't realize that it can be for small time entrepreneurs like myself.
You have to. I mean, for example, simple example. I walk through the door, there is cables on the floor, I trip and fall, and I sue you. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I did not even think of
All
that.
right, so I
Yeah.
can take all the studio with
There's
me.
a lot of trip hazards now.
So every business, and this is really quick, 3 seconds.
Please don't trip on your way
But no, I won't.
John, hold her hand on the way out.
No, I won't. But every business is different.
Yeah.
There is no one policy that fits everybody, right? So depending on what you do, depending on your business is, depending what product you're selling or not, everyone's policy is gonna look different.
Right. So this is the most personalized package.
It's a very personalized approach too, because I need to know your finances. I need to know. So it's a more in-depth relationship, right? You need. It's more like your accountant, right? Your accountant kind of knows more of your business than you do.
Shout out to Leanne. We love you because yes, she does. At least on the financial end.
So we are the same, right? We
Yeah.
need to be in contact with your accountant. We need to be in contact, with what you're doing, what your plans are, what the next 12 months look like. We need to know, what are you planning, so we make sure that whatever we're doing right now, we can expand for later, that it fits your needs, that it's gonna help you in the future. So it is not just like go online, click general liability, purchase 1 million, and you're covered. No, like it doesn't mean that because of you purchase that you're gonna have coverage for everything you need. So it's a very personalized service. In most commercial insurance, you need to buy it through a broker, just because we need to make sure that we review all those items on your business. So all the business owners that are our clients, we do more than just selling a policy. Like if they need help with like marketing, right, we send them to the marketing firm. If they are planning or having issues with their business operational side, we work with companies like Inmigrante Rico. We work with companies like CWE, E4All, Amplify, depending on what process they're in, right, where they fit in. And that's the beauty of being so embedded in the community, is that we get to know our clients so well that we are able to identify needs probably than they probably do. So it is not just about selling a policy, it's about like, you need to talk to this person, you need to talk to this person, you're going to hit this ceiling. We're not going to be able to help you until you get there. So you better start talking to this other person, right? This accountant doesn't longer fit your needs. You need to find one that can help you with tax strategy, all these things, right? Because there comes worker compensation policies, audits for the state. So it's more than just buying
This is blowing my
a
mind.
simple policy.
Yeah.
Right? I just don't sell insurance.
And I mean,
I'm like a coach.
For all that alone, you're selling me 100%. Just because of all the I'm hearing all these little extra things I get. I mean, essentially, I'm getting a concierge service
100%.
along with my insurance. Like
100%.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention. John just said, why do I think it took longer than a month? I thought to do my taxes, and it did. But I didn't.
that, you need to
people
have
in place to
bookkeepers. So
thank
you
God take care
know,
of that for me.
we're not just interested on selling your policy.
Yeah.
And as Latinos, as Hispanics, our goal is to see your business create wealth, and we want us Latinos to take over the world.
And the
Right?
more we
So
win, the more you're gonna win, right? Because you're
yeah,
gonna,
and I mean, I will not,
as
I
as
will
a
not
company.
do my duty if I am not taking care of all aspects of your business. So you know, it comes as part of who we are and what we want to accomplish in
Wow.
the long term.
And you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing our heritage and our culture being brought to the forefront of this business. And
100%.
culturally, we are very much of a village
Yes.
mentality
We have to be.
community
We have
where
to
we
be.
all take care of each other and everyone brings their own piece of the pie to the table. We all eat. We all, what benefits
Yeah.
you benefits me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I love that approach because honestly, with American capitalism, and yeah, I'm talking to you, A Affordable. We
Oh
don't.
my.
It is what it is. I pay them every
Sorry,
month.
Jim.
Don't be sorry
I
to
know,
them.
Jim.
I pay them every month. So if they want me to stop talking about them, they need to start having more quality customer service and a village mentality like BRZ has. It is what it is. I'm not gonna hide my shame. What are they gonna do? They're gonna cancel me
Hi,
from
Jim.
insurance. I'll come to BRZ. Sorry, Jim.
Listen.
I don't know you, Jim.
I do.
Something personal.
I do. Not personal. Not personal. No, but I think overall, it's enough. It's everyone has a different focus,
Yeah.
right? And at BRC, we are not just here to sell insurance. We have a vision and a mission. And that vision and mission encompasses fully us helping business owners, homeowners, Hispanic, Latinos, Brazilians get into their next level of wealth and financial stability. And a lot of people don't think of insurance like that, but we are trying to change that narrative, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like I came in to BRC 3 years ago. I've been in the insurance industry for almost 20 years, and it's the first time I focused on my community. But I had enough of not seeing enough of me
Yeah.
in the industry, and I was like, we have to do
Same.
something. And my business partner, when he approached me, I was like, how are we gonna do this?
It's scary at first, isn't it?
It is very scary.
It's like this
It
has
is
never been
really
done before. I
scary.
don't think we should do this.
And it was more scary to me because for the first 5 years of BRZ, it was all Brazilian community, and
Yeah.
I didn't speak the language. My culture was totally different. And in the past 3 years, I had the opportunity and beauty of getting to learn the Brazilian community, getting to learn the culture. And now they said that I'm half Puerto Rican, half Brazilian. So, it is great to
Yeah.
feel part of something bigger.
You grew into your
And I've been
Brazilian.
doing like all communications in Portuguese. And
That's awesome.
It's fantastic to
Yeah.
like being able not just to achieve part of your goals and in your vision and mission, but in the process, I'm also learning. So I think it's something amazing and an opportunity that everybody has.
Yeah.
And I wanna, if you allow me,
Yes.
I
please.
want everyone out there, Hispanic, Latino, Brazilian, if you are looking for a career that is rewarding, that can definitely impact and have change, we need more of us in this industry.
Yes.
And I am looking to teach, to recruit, to pass on all my knowledge to those that really want to build a career that can provide you wealth, that can provide you with a lot of satisfaction, but mostly a purpose.
Yeah. And working for a company that truly cares not only about
Yes.
making money, of course, but
Yeah.
about their clients.
We all need money to eat and do
Right.
the things that we want to do.
We got to pay the
That's
overhead in order for us to be a
Exactly.
company. We got to pay the lights. But also you care about your clients.
Yes, and our
and you
community.
care about your staff. I don't know if that's the right word. That's the right word I'm looking
My
for?
team.
Your team.
My
Thank you.
team.
I knew
I
staff
don't have
didn't sound right.
employees.
Your team.
I
like
don't have
that.
employees. I hate using that word, or
Yeah.
I hate to
I'm the
introduce
same way.
someone that says, "Oh, they work for me." I will never say
Because
that.
we're all grown. We work
Yeah,
together.
I don't care what seat I
I
am
love that
sitting
about
in.
you.
I can work as an admin, I can make
Yeah.
coffee. I can do anything, right?
Because you definitely don't act like a traditional CEO. You
No.
are a CEO, and I'm
I
so
am.
proud of you.
I am.
Congratulations, you're an
Thank you.
award-winning CEO, and
Yes.
you own that. And we're gonna put
Yes.
some respect on that name.
Do
Any
it.
before we go, any shout outs you wanna throw out there to the world?
No, I just want to thank everybody. I think here, especially in the Worcester community, the past 3 years have been key. I don't have an office in Worcester, but it's
Oh, wow.
amazing to see like how BRC is so embedded in
It's
the
because you have a
community.
presence in Worcester.
Yes.
At every event
Yeah.
I've been to, I've
Yeah.
seen that big black and yellow tent. I've gone over there, and I couldn't help myself but to talk
Yeah.
to those amazing people
Yeah, but I will
who
say,
are really selling it. They're out
yeah,
there selling it, man.
I think I will say that thank you to everyone that one way or another has helped carry on the message, that one way or another support us in any way. It doesn't necessarily mean sending clients to us. There is a lot of other ways that I feel very supported, and my company is very supported by this community. So I just say thank you, because honestly, anything helps, and seeing so many people helping carrying out um, our message is amazing. It's more than I can ever ask for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And lastly, if we could just let everybody know, how can they get in touch with you and your amazing team?
Yes. So we have 5 locations across the state now. We're still growing. We have Hyannis, we have Framingham, Stoughton, Malden, and Lawrence. Soon we probably will be here in Worcester.
Oh, I can only imagine you'll be here in Worcester before
And
you
they
know
can contact us at 508-603-6777, either by phone or WhatsApp, because we have a total digital platform
it. Ooh.
that they can reach out to us. Or you can just walk in. We always love walk-ins. We receive more than 500 people that walk in on a monthly basis in our offices. Or just go into our website, which is brcinsurance.com.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Monica, thank you so
No,
much.
thank you.
I appreciate you coming
Thank
to hang
you.
out with me today. This was so much fun and so educational. I learned a lot. And John, we got a lot of work to do, my friend.
Yes,
John's
we
like,
do.
I already know. He's been on this. I
Yeah.
don't want to throw him under the bus. I just like having funny conversation with him over the camera. But no, he really does. He's been telling me this. He's like, man, we get.
Yeah,
He
now
lets
it's
me know
like
the finances.
assurance you
And
gotta
it's like,
do it, man.
this is the next step. Now we have to make sure. I know before this tax year end is up, we've got
Yeah.
so many steps we got to do, which is great because that means we're doing okay as a business. So thank you,
Exactly.
John. Thank you, Leanne, for all you do for Manny J Media, and bringing it full circle back to BRZ. Thank you.
Thank you,
For
guys.
being part of the community,
Thank you.
thank you for making yourself and your amazing strategies available to our
Of course.
community.
Anything
And
we can do to help?
I'm sorry. Oh, you're right. Thank you, John. That's my second memory back there. October 11th, and hopefully you're available. You can come as well. It's going to be our red carpet. Is that what we're talking about? Okay. You looked at me weird. It's going to be a red carpet event live from the Park View Room on Park Ave in Worcester. We are premiering our documentary of the Dirty Gerund Poetry Show, which is
red carpet.
It's red
I
carpet
like
and everything.
it.
I directed it. John executive produced it. Our friend Leanne edited it. The team at the all the amazing people at the Dirty Gerund loved it, gave it their kiss of approval, and we want the community to come to see it. And for only
Amazing.
$12, you can buy a ticket and join us on October 11th again at the Parkview Ballroom. I don't know why I keep wanting to say ballroom. The Parkview Room on Park Ave in Worcester. We're gonna put the link for the tickets above, and all proceeds go to the groups that all came together to make this amazing film happen, including the folks at the Dirty Gerund Poetry Show. Excuse me. And so, with that being said, I can't wait to see you next time on another fantastic episode of Innerviews. It's your boy Manny and
Monica Adwani from BRZ Insurance.
Manny J Media, community delivered. We'll see you real soon. Peace.